I made some business decisions, and then I had to ask myself the question, why? And guess what? Sometimes the why doesn't check out, and it saves me months of work. It saves me a lot of money. I don't have to invest. I'm doing this because I'm just doing it. Why am I doing it? Oh, because I'm always ambitious. Oh, because I'm always looking at the next thing. Oh, I got shiny object syndrome, and I'm always doing this kind of stuff. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Especially when I'm already doing something else. You'd realize I probably shouldn't even be doing this. But you spend the next 6 months and the next $6,000 building out this idea that you thought, and you realize you made too many promises, you got too many obligations, you're already here. You should ask yourself why.
7:45 a.m. Catch me on the morning meetup, hosted by David Shanes.
This whole week, this whole month, we're focused on clarity of business, clarity in your business. And I'm going to give you a formula that I absolutely love. And it was crazy. I was in a school in LA, and I was in the back of the room, and I brought all these speakers to the school, and my friend was speaking, then my other friend spoke, and then I sat in the back of the room. I said, yo, and we're in a high school at this point. And I said, there are questions that need to be answered when we start talking about entrepreneurship. There are questions that need to be answered. And being in a school, it reminded me of something that I learned in school. And it was a bunch of questions. There was a line of questions. Can anybody know what those questions were? That directly relate to entrepreneurship. There was a bunch of questions that we learned in school. Anybody? The 5 W's? Yeah, man. Cynthia, you're on it. You've been around me long enough. It's a little H in there, though. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. This is what we are going to discuss. When it comes to getting clear as an entrepreneur, these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. But then we have to put them in the correct order. But first, let's go through them, okay? And I need you to take the notes, and I need you to list them. I need you to list them as we're writing them, because I'm going to ask you to put them in order, okay? But then you got to show your work. You got to explain your answer. All right, let's do this. The first question is, who? Who? Out of who, what, when, where, why, and the how. Who? Next to who, I want you to write, who do I need? Next to the who, I want you to write, who do I need? Who do I need? So I will show you what's going on here. Okay. I will show you. So let me turn my camera, get over here a little bit. Bow, okay. All right, so we have who? And the question next to that is, who do I need? What? What will be required of me? Hey, going back to the who, you do know you can't do this on your own, right? Especially for a big vision. The bigger the vision, the more people you need. The smaller the vision, the less people you need. If your vision is to work at your job and make this $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, guess what? You don't need anybody. You need to fill out an application. That's not application, it's resume, right? Never did that. But resume, you fill out a resume.
Fill out an application, hand in your resume.
Absolutely. So, okay, both. You don't need anybody to help you build that career. You go learn information, you go to college, or you know somebody, you do the job and you make the money. But if you're going to duplicate yourself, if you want to make more than one person's income, you need more than one person. So we need to know, who do I need? Just as important, who do I not need? Who's dead weight in my life? Who do I not need? Just as important, who do I need? Just as important, who do I not need? Who do I not need? Just as important, who do I not need? Who do I not need? Just as important, 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 This is very, very important. What will be required of me? It's important to identify what's going to be required before you start. This is the point of these hot seat episodes, because I need you to understand that what's going to be required of you to become successful needs to be considered, or you'll get blindsided. If you're not expecting all of this work, listen, this is why anybody does consulting work or they do a job for somebody. Typically, if it's high ticket, I need to understand what you need first, and then I'll quote you. Hey, Nella, if somebody says, hey, I want to hire you to do my social media, how much do you charge?
I ask them questions before I just give them a price.
Now, why would you ask them questions? You do social media, right?
Yeah, but everybody's needs and
social
goals.
media.
Everybody's needs and goals are different.
That's important. Because what if you get all excited? Oh, I got my first client. They want me to do their social media. And you're like, yo, I'm gonna charge you $1,500. And they like, bet. Okay, day one. All right, we need 3 posts a day on my Instagram. I need 3 different posts, entirely different posts every single day on my TikTok. I need you to upload my YouTube videos. There's a community tab on YouTube. I need you to ask 2 questions every single day. You're like, oh, the 15. I didn't expect this.
That's a premium package. That's not even.
I didn't expect it. It's so hard. It's so hard to gauge what to charge or what you're going to get unless you understand the work that's required. And I think people only think of what they're going to get from their business, and they're not thinking of what is going to be required. And it would have been fine if you knew up front, okay, this is what it's going to take to become successful. But if we don't ask that question, we get blindsided. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is more than I expected. Well, the audacity of someone to want to make millions of dollars and live their dream and buy their dream home and be able to take trips whenever they want to take it, and then take care of their parents, buy a house for them, without doing an incredible amount of work. So let's just ask ourselves the question, what will be required of me? Or, okay, here we go. When will I start? And when will I arrive? The when is very important, because we need to declare we're going to start now, latest tomorrow. There were some people by December 16th that were saying we are going to start this business January 1st. I'm saying we're actually going to start putting our all into this thing this particular time. And whatever the goal is, there needs to be an arrival date. There needs to be an arrival time. When do you plan on making this $250,000? By when? I'm going to start January 1st, and by December 31st, I will have made $250,000. Important. The when am I going to start, and when am I going to arrive? I think people figure out the when they're going to start, but they don't calculate how long it's going to take. There's no goal for it. Or people calculate, hey, by the end of 2024, I'll make $1 million. But you didn't really calculate when you're going to start the process of making $1 million. Just because the clock strikes 12 on January 1st doesn't mean that's the date you're going to start. So I said we're going to release tickets for a podcast summit January 1st. Well, the date we're doing podcast summit is July 4th and 5th. But I didn't release it yesterday. They sent me back the information. The website looked beautiful. And in my mind, I said, there's something missing. There's some stuff missing. I said, you know what? We're going to drop it Thursday, because there's some edits that I want to make and I don't want to rush it. We have to consider When are we going to start? If you got to push it back, it's cool. If you got to push it up, that's cool. But that's a question we need to ask ourselves. When are we going to start and when are we going to arrive? Who, what, when, where? Let's go with the where. Here we go. Where? Where am I going? That's a clarity question, right? We need to know the destination before we start. We need to be clear on the goal. And the only way we're clear on the goal, there needs to be some sort of number attached, and there needs to be a way to identify that I've actually arrived there. The where isn't financial freedom because you have no idea what that means, do you? Somebody explain to me financial freedom real quick. Just explain to me. Can you? If somebody, maybe I could be missing something, okay? Somebody explain, what does it mean to obtain financial freedom? Can someone describe? Somebody, come on, somebody is sitting on the other side of their phone or their laptop and they're saying, yo, I could do this. You can't. Come on, I could do this. I know what financial freedom means. There we go. We've got a brave soul. Let's do this.
What up? So I was just gonna say financial freedom is I think it's person specific. So
Yeah.
I think it's to me it's being debt free, having money make money for you in real estate and being able to do whatever you want to do, go on vacations and doing all those things without having the burden of feeling like you're pressed to have to work. That's me.
But can you do whatever you want to do when you want to do it?
If you set it up that way, I think you can.
I don't think you can.
Why not?
I mean, goals continue to evolve.
Sure.
You might say to yourself, yo, I want this Lamborghini truck. I really want this Lamborghini truck. But however you got to the point where you feel like you're financially free won't allow you to do the things that you really, really want to do outside of your specific plan. So I want to go to Africa, or I want to go to wherever the most expensive place it is to fly Delta One. Okay. It's a lot, and I want to stay there for a week. I know, Shay, do you want to give away $1 million to a charity?
It'll be nice.
Buy a well in Africa?
Not really.
Yeah, you want to do something with
I
benevolence.
want to do something nice. Yeah.
For sure. You just can't do it right now. I know I can't.
Correct.
I want to do it. I want to do it, and I want to do it now. I just can't. I don't have the finances to do it. But it'd be beautiful. It'd be wonderful. What I'm saying is, and you're a little more financially astute than most, but what I'm saying is we can't set a goal for financial freedom. We have to set a goal for whatever our goal is. Now, you might feel like that's financial freedom, but what I'm telling all of you here is once you get to that point where you feel like you're financially free, there's another level because there's more stuff that you want to do.
I agree.
I'm not saying buy a bigger house or buy a bigger car. There's more stuff for sure. Y'all want to take all of my friends out to Dubai. I can't do that right now. It'd be nice. Let's all go. I want to pay for everything, but I can't. I can go. Can y'all go? No? I want to pay for a couple of my friends that can't go. I want to invest in every child that I see into their business. I just can't. So my overall point is there needs to be a specific destination that we can calculate. Where am I going? I'm going to make $250,000 this year in my business. That is a very clear destination, okay? Who, what, when, where, why? This is important, right? Why am I doing this? Huh? Spoke to Sparkle Bailey yesterday. It was just a beautiful exchange, and I wish we had it recorded in the studio because I think a lot of people had the same challenge, and it was amazing. She set it up, and now she is going to be extremely clear. I want to do this, but when we start analyzing why we want to do the thing that we want to do, sometimes there's a better way to get to what we really want to do. Okay. So I said to myself, I wanted to make $100,000. And I wound up starting a t-shirt brand, and I made the $100,000. Well, then I said, it's 100,000. It doesn't feel like how I thought it was going to feel. You know what I mean? Anyone that's ever made $100,000, before you make $100,000, you feel like it's financial freedom. Is it just me? I thought, and I calculated it. I think my whole lifestyle was like $1,500. My car's paid off. My rent was $700. Food, gas, being lit, $1,500, all in. If I make $100,000, that's $8,300. Goodness gracious. That's $7,000 of extra income. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want to do it, with an extra $7,000 a month, for sure. But then I got to the 100,000, and I was like, dang, this don't feel like how I thought it was going to feel. So I said, okay, I'm going to make $1 million. But the challenge is, I've been doing this clothing brand, and it got me to $100,000. But the thing that got me to $100,000 was not going to get me to $1 million. And I said, now I just got to figure out a way to get this t-shirt brand to make me $1 million. Then I thought about it. That if I have to make 11 sales of a $25 t-shirt every day to make $100,000, to make $1 million, I have to sell 110 t-shirts every day. Look at the math. 11 t-shirts at $25 gives me $275 a day, which will make me $100,000. If I want to 10x that to make $1 million, I have to sell 110 t-shirts every day. In my mind, how the heck am I going to sell 110 t-shirts every single day? And I said, you know what? I'm just going to stick it out because this is my dream. Well, I'd ask myself, why am I so stuck on this Sleep is for Suckers t-shirt brand? And why am I doing what I'm doing? And I realized it wasn't to hit my goal. It was because that's what everybody knows me for. I was doing it because that's all I've been doing. Okay, you ever been with somebody for a long time? Have you ever asked yourself why you're with them, even though it's just not a good relationship? If you drill down, you may be with the person because that's all I know. Why am I here? Because my parents would be disappointed. My parents likes this person. They really, really do. Why am I with this person? I may not find anybody else. Why? Is it because I really love this person? There's a question. These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Okay, if y'all get what I'm saying, if this is like the beginning of some clarity, just say I got you. Just put I got you. I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. Okay, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Okay. So who, what, when, where, why? Last question we have to ask ourselves is how? Oh, hold on. Slow down. Slow down. Okay. How? How am I going to get there? This is a question. Okay. I remember one time. Do y'all remember we were at the morning meetup? This was maybe 2 years ago. And this is a question I was trying to drive home because I wanted everybody to think, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do it? I got this goal. How am I going to do it? And then guest after guest that I had on the platform, they was like, yo, I don't think about the how, I just go. Y'all remember that? Anybody remember that? I was like, anybody's been with me for the last few years. I think Ronnie Brown pulled up. She was like, yo, I don't be thinking about the how. I just know that I'm going to go do it and I'm going to get it. And I was like, dang, that killed my little message. Then I think Myron Golden said the same thing. Don't worry about how you're going to get it done. Just commit to getting it done. And it just ruined my whole message. But I had to stand on the fact that some of the people that you're listening to that are successful, that wake up in the morning and run, they already have an internal strategy in their head. You understand? No. Then I wouldn't have this story if I gave a heads up. But the people that you see that don't need the how already have the how, but it's kind of just already in there. It's not like if Kobe was gonna jump on the court, or LeBron or Michael Jordan was gonna jump on the court, they don't need a whole lot of time to figure out how they're going to win the game. They get on and they win the game because of their routine, their experiences. So I don't always have everything figured out. However, I spent enough time as a beginning entrepreneur strategizing. How am I going to make this 100,000? That's how I know that I need 11 shirt sales at $25 a piece every single day to make $100,000 a year. The question was, how am I going to get these 11 shirt sales? I said, oh, I got it. One way I could do this is I can go to barbershops. Why? Barbershops, they have cash and they have customers. There's already money being spent there. And the barbershop is a place where they embrace their brothers. So I'm going to black barbershops with a cool story and get them to fall in love with me, and I'll make a couple sales. Sometimes I go to a barbershop and I'll make all 11. Sometimes I go to a barbershop and I'll make 3. And then next door, there's a hair salon. And I gotta I gotta put on my charm. I gotta get my Riz together. I've been working on using the word Riz lately. It's short for charisma. I gotta get my swag together because I'm about to go in this hair salon and I gotta figure out a way to sell these women some t-shirts with my Riz. Y'all just hate because y'all ain't got no Riz. You know what I mean? leave me alone. But I gotta figure it out. How am I going to make this thing happen? This has been the most important part of my entrepreneurial journey. It's figuring out the how. And now I get really excited by putting the pieces together. Oh, I got this resource. I know this person. Okay, I'll see if I can get this person to post something. We can do a collaboration together. Strategy. So in parentheses on this how, we could put strategy. You got it? So clarifying questions as we start this entrepreneurial journey. Who, what, when, where, why, how? Who do I need? What will be required of me? What's the work? When will I start and when will I arrive? What is the goal? Like, I'm going to start today. And when should I have accomplished this goal? Where am I going? Very important. This is the destination. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And how am I going to get there? The strategy. Now, here's how we get real clear. We have to put these in order. We have to put these in order. So anyone that's never seen me do this exercise before, raise your hand. I want to know in what order you would ask yourself these questions. In what order? What's the first question you should ask yourself? What's the second? What's the third? Let's do this. What you think? What you think? Let's do this. Y'all scared? Come on with it. Just give it a shot, okay? In what order do you place these? Don't make me start calling y'all, okay? Please, please, because I will. 3, 2. Okay. I was gonna start calling y'all. David, talk to me. In what order do we ask ourselves these questions?
I'm gonna start where
We're
for
gonna
me,
start with where, number 1. Okay.
where I'm going,
Okay.
and then my what,
Then the what, number 2. Okay.
then my how,
Then your how, which is 3. Okay.
and then who. Like who do I need,
Then the 4, who. Okay.
and when will I set and arrive?
5. Okay. And then the 6, we figure out why we're doing what we're doing.
Yes, sir.
So, what if you go through all of these steps and you realize the reason I'm doing what I'm doing has no weight? The last thing is the why. You can go through all of this. You can figure
Mhm.
out where you're going and what's going to be required of you to do it, and then how you start strategizing. Then you start putting your team together. I need this is who I'm going to need. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna start today. By the end of the year, it's on. And then you're gonna ask ourselves, you know what? Why did I just do all that? And what if the why doesn't hold any weight? You're like, yo, I'm only doing this because that's what my dad did. I don't do what my dad did. I'm only doing this because my friends told me I should do this. Or somebody told me this is what I should be doing. Okay, good answers. Good answers. Next. Who's next? Who's next? Coach Alicia Wells, let's go. Since y'all ain't trying to play these games with me. Okay. Alicia Wells. Talk to me. Give me your order. You got this.
What are you doing? I was multitasking, sorry.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that
What are you
excuse.
doing?
Okay. No, it's okay. Let's go. Let's go. We're putting them in order. But if you didn't think about it, it's going to be challenging. So we'll come back.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Ruth, talk to me. And a part of this is strategy, thinking. Oh my gosh, how am I figuring this out? Okay, let's do it.
So for me, it's gonna be my why. Why am I doing this in the first place?
Start with why. Okay.
Then what will be required of me to get all these things done? I'm gonna list that. And then I'll now say, where am I going? How much time will it require for me to do this? What's my SWOT analysis, something like that.
Yeah.
And then who do I need? What are my resources? Is it human being? Is it knowledge? Is it education and all that? And then I'll now say, when will I start? How much time will it take me to get there? What are my challenges? What are my strengths? What are the things does my lifestyle go with this thing I want to do? And then lastly, I would now say, how am I going to get there?
Good. Okay. All right. Let me get one more. Oh, we got some hands now. Let me get one more, man. Let me get one more. Hey guys, there's no real right or wrong answer. Okay. But I want you to be able to strategically think why you're saying what you're saying. All right. Who's next?
Last one, we'll do Christina.
Let's go, Christina.
All right, I put my first one was why. So
Okay.
obviously, why I'm doing this. I put how as my second. How am I going to get there? What's my strategy?
Yeah.
My third one was who. Who do I need to, to get the how? Then I put where. Where am I going? I need to calculate it. And then I put by when. So when is the next one. So my goal. And then what? What is going to be required of me to do all of this?
Good. All right. We got what last? What if we go through this whole process and the last question you ask yourself is what? And then you realize what's going to be required of me isn't really worth it. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. This is going to take my whole life to figure this thing out. I don't know. I think identifying what it's going to take before we go through this process of recruiting this team and all that kind of stuff It may need to come earlier. Again, there's no right or wrong answer, but let me give you my formula. Let me give you my order. All ready? All right, all right. And let me know if y'all put your order in the chat real quick to see if it lines up with mine. Throw your order in the chat real quick, see if it lines up with mine. Okay. This is good. This is good. The why should pull you to do it. Has to be most powerful. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, y'all got this, man. I like this game. We should have did that last week. Hey, are y'all coming to Atlanta February 1st? Is it 1st? Is it February 1st?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
February
first.
1st. Y'all coming? We're gonna work. We're gonna work. We're just gonna sit in a room and we're gonna work together. Morning meetup family. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let me give you my order, and I'll explain it as well. I think the very first thing we need to discuss is where. Where am I going? Where have I decided to go? Let's think destination first. I mean, why is a good start place, but we can't really ask ourselves why we're doing what we're doing until we, or why we're going where we're going until we decide where we're going. Right? So let's say I'm going to go to California. I'm going to move to California. That's the first thing I'm going to ask myself. Where am I going? Where am I going? I'm going to make $100,000. That's the goal. I'm going to be a millionaire, a billionaire. Where am I going? This is the direction. The second question I would ask myself is why? I'm going to make a decision to be a doctor. Next question I need to ask myself, why do I want to be a doctor? Let me ask you a question. Have you ever decided to go somewhere, but then you ask yourself the question, okay, why am I doing that? And you realize that you probably shouldn't go. You know what I mean? One of my friends who's always in trouble calls me, said, yo, I'm outside. And I say, bet, I'm coming out. But when he called me, it was like a little, it was like kind of like pumped up. He's like, yo, so-and-so said so-and-so, we got to go over there. Let's go. So I know exactly where we're going. But then I have to ask myself, okay, why am I going to go over there? Why would I do this? Why? I don't even know these people. Like, I don't know these people. And I don't know. And what I know about my friend is he probably started it. You know what I mean? Okay. I think I told y'all this before. I went to a school and I was talking to the kids and I was talking to the young ladies. It was an auditorium, but I'm talking to the ladies. And I say, ma'am, I want you to decide where you're going or what you're going to accomplish in life, what you want to do. But I want you to ask yourself the question, why am I deciding on this? So you might say, I want to be a teacher. And I'm just asking you to ask yourself the question, why do you want to be a teacher? And you might realize, yo, because my mom was a teacher, and my aunt is a teacher, and my mom's mom was a teacher, my dad was a teacher. Oh, wow. Am I really becoming a teacher because I want to be a teacher? Or am I becoming a teacher because that's what we do? I gave another example. I said, young lady, listen, you guys are 15, 16 years old, which means some things are happening that you can't explain emotionally. Okay. There's some things going on around 14, 15, 16. It's like, oh my gosh, I was at school because I wanted to hang out with my friends. And then one day you come to school and you realize, wow, that boy's cute. I don't know this feel. I don't know where this came from. I just want to hang out with my friends. But then you come to school one day and you're like, yo, where you come from? Am I right? No? Like one day you just wake up. It's not like you are like, I love my teachers. I love my schoolwork and my friends. We playing double dutch. And then one day you realize, Man, that's cute right there. But I'm telling you, young lady, one day you're gonna get a call and he's gonna say, hey, my parents aren't home. You should come through. So you already know the destination when you decide, yes, I'm gonna go over to this person's house. But before you make the decision, the final decision, before you get in your car or on your bike to go over that little boy's house, I'm asking you to ask yourself the question, what's the question? What's the question? And maybe you should ask the person that's inviting you over their house, why do you want me to come? It's important, right? Okay. I made some business decisions and then I had to ask myself the question, why? And guess what? Sometimes the why doesn't check out and it saves me months of work. It saves me a lot of money. I don't have to invest because now I can realize, yo, I'm doing this because I'm just doing it. Why am I doing it? Oh, because I'm always ambitious. Oh, because I'm always looking at the next thing. Oh, I got shiny object syndrome and I'm always doing this kind of stuff. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Especially when I'm already doing something else. Entrepreneurs, you don't have to say it out loud. Just throw a 1 in the chat. If you wish you would have went through this process after you decided something and you ask yourself why, you'd realize I probably shouldn't even be doing this. But you spend the next 6 months and the next $6,000 building out this idea that you thought, and you realize, why the heck? Why am I doing this? But you're too far in. You made too many promises. You got too many obligations. You're already here. You should ask yourself why. So first, we're going to decide where we're going. And then we're going to decide why I'm going there. The next thing we're going to decide is what is going to be required of me. So if the where checks out, yes, I want to go to this destination. Yes, I want to make this money. Yes, this is the goal. Yes, this is the career path. And then you ask yourself why, and that checks out. You're like, I can think of 1,000 reasons why this is what I need to be doing. It's my gift. I already have the resources. I have the know-how. I love doing it. I have a strong why. Now we have to ask ourselves the question, what is going to be required of us? What's going to be required? What's the work involved? Do you have the time to do it? Do you have the resources to do it? You got to count the costs, right? Now, I'm not saying this should discourage you, but let's just start mentally preparing so that there's not a lot of, oh, I didn't think it was going to take this much time. Me and a friend of mine, we had this business that we were doing together. And I remember it like it was yesterday. We were in the middle of Cumberland Mall, sitting downstairs at a table after we took the last 3 months to map out this strategy. Yo, I'm telling you, we went through the where, the why, the how, the who, the when, we went through everything but the what. So 3 months after like putting this stuff together, putting money into it, getting the systems, getting the website, all this kind of stuff, we sit down in the middle of the mall and we decide roles and responsibilities. And we say, okay, what is it going to take for us like to actually build the business moving forward? I was under the impression that he had more time than he had. He was under the impression that I had more time than I had. And we realized that day, 3 months into it, that we are not moving forward on this business because what's going to be required, we ain't got it. It's going to require me like dropping my business to do this with you? Nah. Let's count the costs. Let's count the costs. What is going to be required of you? You got it? If you're with me, just say I'm with you. This is just the order in which I'm at. When you have this brand new idea, I'm asking you to take it through this list. Where am I going? What's the goal? Why is that the goal? And what is going to be required of me to accomplish this? This will provide a lot of clarity, a lot of frustration. But if you get to the bottom of this list and everything checks out, it's up. Next is the how. And I only got a few minutes. How am I going to pull this off? I know where I want to go. I know why I'm going. I understand what it's going to take. Now we sit down and we strategize on the how am I going to accomplish this? I got to come up with a plan. Big goal stuff. How am I going to do it? Start pulling all the resources, calling, figuring out the plan, the strategy. I'm ready. I saw on Netflix. Now, it was actually, so my wife and son were gone yesterday. It was me and Sarai in the bed. Sarai is watching Baby Shark, and I'm going through Netflix. I said, ooh, I'm going to be able to watch some stuff. And then I'm going through some stuff that I wanted to watch on Netflix, but I realized, my wife would be mad if I watched that by myself. Can't watch that one either. She's going to be pissed. Can't start a new series. She ain't gonna like it. But then I came across Berlin, which I'm guessing is a spinoff of Money Heist. And I got really excited. I got so excited. Oh my gosh. Because Money Heist is the most strategic movie I've ever seen. He plans for everything. They're going to rob the bank, but they didn't rob the bank when they made the decision to rob the bank. It was such a long time of planning and figuring out every single, okay, when you go into the bank, this is going to happen. Now, if that doesn't happen, this is going to happen. If none of those happen, then this is going to happen. And this is what you do. And if you can't do that, you got to do this. And if you can't do that, you got to go on plan C. There's so many layers to the strategy. It's so inspirational. But this is the time you start pulling in your mentors and pulling in your coaches, saying, this is the goal. How do you see I can accomplish this thing? And then next is the who. Next is the who. Has anybody on your list, did you put the who anywhere before the how? Did you? Did you put the who do I need before the how? Here's why you can't put the who before the how, because I need you to figure out what the plan is, and then you got to fit people into the plan. If you start recruiting people first, and then you figure out what's required, you're going to realize that either the people that you picked aren't going to be able to help you with the plan at all, or you're going to need some more people. Or you find out you have dead weight. Or if you pick the who to help you come up with the how, which is the strategy, then now it becomes their idea and their business, and they put this thing together. My objective is to come up with the strategy first and then start inviting people to my strategy to see where you can be plugged, because I need you to handle this task, you to handle this task. I used to pick my team based off proximity, meaning the people closest to me when I'm coming up with the idea, this is my team. And then I realized that none of these clowns can help. None of them. They're just friends. And they're not dedicated. They don't know what they're doing. They're all dead weight. None of them. They're just friends. I'm cool with them. So now I done went through the whole plan, and we sat down with, Casamigos wasn't out at that point, but we sit down with some Grey Goose and cranberry and like chips of all flavors. And we're sitting there coming up with these ideas. And the next day, when everybody sobers up, I have this idea in my head and this plan, and none of them can help me. You can't build your team based on proximity, meaning the people that are closest to you. You need to build your team based on filling in the plan. And lastly, after all this stuff checks out, we say, okay, I'm ready. When are we going to start? And based on my calculation, I should arrive by this date. Understand? Homework, morning meetup family. Here's your homework. Whatever your idea, I'm asking you to ask yourself the questions and complete it. And tomorrow, I want you to come back and I want to hear how it went. I want to hear how it went. Okay? Did you have a little more clarity? Did you answer some questions? Did you realize, whoa, the reason I'm not getting ahead is because I don't have the right people. I need the right people. Or I don't really know how I'm going to do it. And you might spend some time figuring out the how. Or you miscalculated what it's going to take. Or you just said, I'm going to be successful and there was no starting date or ending date. Or the where isn't even clear yet. We haven't defined the why. I'm asking you to go through this, okay? Where, why, what, how, who, and then when. And I think sometimes, the what and the how can be interchangeable because you can ask yourself, how am I going to knock this out? We do the strategy, and then you realize what's going to be required of you. So I think some of those are interchangeable. And again, there's no right or wrong. This is just my list. You might create your own list, but either way, all of them need to be answered. Y'all got it? I love you all. It is 9 o'clock. Tomorrow we will be back. Yes, tomorrow we're recording. So if you are in the morning meetup, you can come pull up to the studio and just be there live. Okay. I love you all. Nella. If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more.